Yes, I have opened it. Is it visible? Dr. Vijay? Dr. Vijay sir, is it visible? It's not visible.
No, madam.
Okay. I'm trying.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, whenever the patient comes in our OPD, first we deal with his case history. Either we got the case detailed case history of the patient. We cannot go to the diagnostic tools. So first of all, we have to take the detailed case history of that patient.
Yeah, now it's visible, madam.
Okay, okay,
PPT.
sir. Is visible. Okay, sir. Thank you. So we should have to take detailed case history, like the onset of the disease or how long it occur, what is the progress of the disease. Regarding cancer, we are dealing, so these are the points we should ask to the patient. Severity of the symptoms, either it recover with the other treatment or not effective. These should be the questions we should ask to the patient. How many times he or she had done follow up, so any family history is there or any abnormal habits for long time. It will also the beneficial for our case history. Any drug action reaction, ADRs, we should ask to the patient. Then we will go to the physical examination. In physical examination, we have to check the size of the that cancer or that tumor. Then what are the abnormal symptoms, we have to check it out. Size of the nodule, is it growing or as it is. Skin changes over that tumor, color changes over that tumor, or any edematous conditions are suffering patient. Pressure symptoms, we have to check the pressure over the nodule. If it is pitting or non-pitting, for the swelling we have to check. Likewise, is pressure, by giving pressure, is it tender or non-tender, we have to also check. In physical examinations we deal with this. Then how cancer is diagnosed. There is no single test that can accurately diagnose the cancer. The complete evaluation of the patient usually requires history, physical examination, along with diagnostic testings. Many tests are needed to determine whether a person has cancer or if another condition such as an infection is mimicking the symptom of a cancer. Because the cancer treatments are very costly, also very painful, and it is mind disturbing that we conclude that we diagnose the patient is having cancer. So we have to first check either it is an infection mimicking like that symptoms or it is a cancer, and for that we have to do the diagnostic tests or diagnostic tools we have to use. First of all, blood investigations, that is hematological or biochemical investigations we have to do. In that, what we have to do,
Ma'am, your voice is not audible.
hello, am I audible now?
Yes. Yes, madam. Please continue.
There might be an technical issue. That's why it happened.
Yes, madam. Please. Yes.
In absolute neutrophil count, we have to check the neutrophil count. Either it is increasing or less. Then acid phosphatase, also called acid acid or acid phosphatase, a test of blood serum to detect specific enzyme produced by several tissues, particularly the in prostate cancer we have to check the acid phosphatase. Also we have to check in blood counts like calcium. Elevated calcium levels are elevated in the cancer. So with the tumor that produces parathyroid hormone like protein and multiple myeloma, as well as in some malignant diseases, their level of calcium is elevated. So in blood count, we have to check the calcium. Also, we have to check carcinogenic embryonic antigen, which is a tumor marker. So that may be indicator of tumor marker or having the patient is having cancer. Also creatinine value, that is we have to check either there is an increase in creatinine or not. Also blood urea nitrogen, the chemistry study of blood serum which will measure the level of urea in the blood, which we have to check, and the normal range of blood urea nitrogen is 10 to 15 milligram per 100 ml. So we have also check blood urea nitrogen also. Tumor markers such as CA125, CA19.9, these may be also elevated. During ovary or breast or colon cancer, this CA125 is elevated. So we have to check for that also. In 199, in case of pancreatic cancers, it may be raised. So carcinogenic embryonic antigen we have to check. We have to check the ferritin levels, which measures the iron storage protein in celiac acid. Low level suggests good prognosis. This is the prognostic test. We can say that if the low levels in the blood we see, then it is the good prognostic, having good prognostic value. Generally, we have to check it in head or neck malignancies, ferritin level. Also, leukocytes, we have to check for leukocytes, which we have seen also known as white blood cells. So, in like monocytes, granulocytes, lymphocytes, we have to check for all these blood investigations. Next, laboratory diagnosis for cancer. What we have to do for, we have to go for cytology, histopathology, immunohistochemistry, molecular and cytogenetic diagnosis. These are the advanced diagnostic tools for the cancer, or flow cytometry, tumor markers, or electron microscopy. We can deal with this. First of all, cytology. Cytology is the study of individual cell. Individual cell we have to check if there are changes in the cell morphology. It may be suggestive as it may be cancerous growth, or there are changes in the cell. So how do we do the cell study? With the help of FNAC, that is fine needle aspiration cytology. It may be direct or image guided, or exfoliative cytology with the help of exfoliative, or abrasive cytology with the as per fine or exfoliative cytology. What is FNAC consist? These consist 4 coordinate steps. First one, palpation, from where we have to aspirate that product which we have to check. We have to palpate first the tumor size and boundaries of that tumor. Then we do aspiration by the help of needle or syringe, and then the aspirated sample should prepare with the smear. Then we have to do fixation and staining of that smear, and we have to check it under microscope. These are some steps which will show how we have to do FNAC. In first step, the doctor is palpating the patient's tumor. Then in second, it's aspirating the fluid from that site. Then third one is preparing the smear. How we should prepare the smear of that fluid which have aspirated from that site. And then we have to stain this. So these are the steps for the FNAC. Procedures, for procedure, what equipments do we need? Routinely 22 to 23 gauge needle is used to do the aspiration, and syringe should be 5 to 10 ml. Advantages of FNAC: it is the simple technique. It does not require any hospitalization, and patient accept as it having less trauma, or it is not the surgical procedure. So patient should accept this, and patient is ready to do the FNAC. It is rapid diagnostic test. So, and also it is economical. Patient is dealing with the cancer, having more problems with the economy. So test should be the economical. So this is the one benefit of this FNAC. The test FNAC is quite economical. Sampling from multiple sites in the same sitting. It means in same sitting we can take samples from multiple sites. From the if there are multiple tumors, we can take the samples from multiple sites in that single sitting. It is high. It is having high diagnostic accuracy, as we are taking the fluid from that site only. So it will have the high diagnostic accuracy. So it is also the benefit of the FNAC over all the diagnostic tools. Many techniques such as bacterial culture, immunohistochemistry, flow cytometry, these can be possible with the help of FNAC material. So FNAC is the routinely used diagnostic tool for the cancer, and it is useful. Also, it is economical tool to diagnose the patients of the cancer. There may be, as having advantages, there may be disadvantages also for the FNAC. What may be the disadvantages? Loss of tissue architecture. If our aspiration goes in wrong direction, it will cause the tissue architect damage, or the morphology of the tissue will get damaged. Capsular invasion and lymph vascular invasion. It may go to the lymphatic nodes, so it may be the also the disadvantage. Then difficult to determine in situ. If the cancer is in situ, CA is in situ, then it is difficult to diagnose with the FNAC. And to do the FNAC, there should be the training to that doctor, or training to that technician. So it may produce complications such as bleeding, infection. If the expertise hand had not done the FNAC, it may go to the bleeding or further infectious chances for that patient. There may be complications of FNAC. Hematoma may be developed, or pneumothorax. If it is if we are doing the FNAC from chest, then it will cause pneumothorax also, or it will lead to further infectious site also. What are the contraindications of FNAC? For whom we should not advise the FNAC? If there is a bleeding, if it is obstructive in nature, or it is its morphology is obstructive of that tumor, then FNAC should not be advised. Or in pulmonary hypertension, if a patient is suffering from pulmonary hypertension, one should not advise the FNAC for the diagnostic as a cancer. If patient is suffering from pancreatitis or septicemia, then one should not advise the FNAC. FNAC also before this I have explained that FNAC may also done with the radiological aids, plain X-ray film for the lesion of bone and for the lesion of chest. We should have the X-ray film to before we do the FNAC. So radiologically, we should check either the lesion is in chest. Can we do the FNAC or not? Or we can take help of CT scan also. We can do under USG guidance also FNAC. So FNAC can be done with this radiological aids or with this help of these radiological tools. Then after FNAC or cytology, we will go for the histopathology. Histopathology, what is exactly meaning of histopathology? Gross and microscopic, both study of that diseased tissue or the cell which we have taken, then that will be cultured and that will be checked. It is histopathology. We can take it as a biopsy instead of FNAC, or biopsy is the removal of tissue from living body, and autopsy is the removal of tissue from dead body after death or to find out the cause of death. When we do the histopathology, what we going to check is there is a differentiation in cells, or is there is a lack of differentiation, which is known as anaplasia. So in histopathology, we should check either there is a differentiation or not. Then with the help of grading, we can check the grade of that tumor. So the grade of the cancer is an assessment of its degree, that we have to check the degree of that malignant tumor or its aggressiveness. Grading is done on the differentiation of tumor cells, and it is classified as 1 to 4th grade. In first grade, more than 75% cell differentiated there. In second grade, 50 to 75% cell differentiation. In grade third, 25 to 50% cell differentiation is there. And in grade fourth, less than 25% cell differentiation is there. After grading, we are go for the stage of the cancer. In general terminology, we are asking as the patient, in which stage your tumor or in which stage your malignancy is now running. So these are the staging techniques. The extent of spread of cancer in the human body, we can check with the help of staging. Staging is based on size of the primary lesion, in which site it has the onset, then extent of spread to the radiological lymph nodes. Is there any extent to the radiologically regionally lymph nodes? Is there any regional lymph node involvement is there or not? We can take the cancer. Hello. Then the presence or absence of blood-borne metastasis is there. We should take in consideration for the staging. See, stage 0, it is the starting of the disease. In stage 1, it goes more proliferating. In stage 2, this is the spread, how spread of the cancer occurs in the organ or in that tissue. So we will nominate it as a stage 0 to stage 4th. We have to check the mucosal layer, submucosal layer, either it is go to the muscular layer or serosal layer, or it will go to the regional lymph nodes, or it will metastate to the regional blood vessels also. We have to check. In colon cancer, we can differentiate as like this: stage 0, cancer has not grown beyond the inner layer of the colon wall. It means it is regulated to the only to the inner layer of the colon wall. In stage second, grown to the outer layer of the wall. From inner, it goes to the outer. In stage second, tumor is through wall but not spread up to the regional lymph nodes. In stage 3, tumor is to the inner and outer wall but having spread to the regional lymph nodes. And in stage 4, the cancer is spreading to the distant sites of the body, such as if it is a colon cancer, it will metastate to the liver, lungs. These we can check with the staging. We nominate it as a TNM system. Staging is specifically formulated as in TNM system. T for primary tumor, N for regional lymph node involvement, and M for metastasis. If the stage first, then it is the primary tumor or it is having T0. With increasing size of primary tumor, it is T1 to T4 in C2 for T0. N0 is no nodal involvement. N1 to N3, involvement of increasing number and range of the regional lymph nodes. And metastasis M0, there is no distant metastasis, but M1 and M2 will present the blood-borne metastasis. Through the blood, it has metastasized to the distant organs. Grading of cancer has proved less clinical value than staging. So the staging is the most important. Immunohistochemistry, in these laboratory methods, which uses the antibodies to check the antigen or the marker of the cancer disease. Uses of immunohistochemistry, categorization of differentiated malignant tumors, then specific typing of leukemias and lymphomas, determination of sites of origin of a metastatic tumor. If there is a metastasis, we have to rule out the origin or site of the origin. So with the help of immunohistochemistry, we can rule out the origin of that cancerous stage. Expression of protein products to the oncogenes and differentiating benign from malignant lesion. Is the tumor is benign or malignant? We can check it out with the help of immunohistochemistry. So there, as there is a time limit, I have to wind it up. But the next is molecular diagnostics. It is beneficial to check the specific biological molecules or biomarkers. In patients, we have to check the tissues and fluid samples, and it is used to monitor or to give the effects of rule out the effects of treatment which we have given even before. Also, with the help of cytogenetics, we can check the related genetics which is involved, or the disease which having abnormalities such as malignancies. So with the help of genetics or molecular diagnostic tools, we can also diagnose the cancerous stage or cancerous disease. So due to less time allotted to me, just I wind up my presentation. So once again, thank you all the organizers to giving me the chance to present Ayush Festival. Thank you so much.